So we got a nice video for y'all today. I want to give a big shout out to Jonas. He did a great sit down with Mike Wang. He's the gameplay director for 2K. So he's the big dev on top, y'all. He's responsible or behind a lot of the changes that we've seen over the past few years. So Jonas asked him a lot of really important questions when it comes to changes with NBA 2K26. They spoke about the new shot system. They spoke about RNG. Remember, RNG was a big issue last year, so we got to chime in on what they said about that as well. The contest system, because from what I'm hearing with the shooting, the contest system got to be on point. Rhythm shooting changes as well. The badge effectiveness and a bunch of other stuff. I'm talking about finishing, dribbling. So we got a lot that we got to dive into. So y'all know what it is by now. Without further ado, I need y'all to grab yourself that brew and let's get to the info.
If you don't know, it's brutal sim on the scene, wicked and mean. With the next video on this YouTube thing, we got 2K news and rumors. Don't forget the tutorials and tips. Turn your MyPLAYER to a bad man and rule the sticks. No matter the mode, record the park, even my career boot will get you a good start. Hit the like button, don't forget the notifications. Comment down below and welcome to the Brute Squad Nation.
Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and skip the intro because we do have a lot we gotta dive into. Joe, shout out to him, did an amazing job. Again, if you want to see the full video at length, check it out in the comment section. I'm gonna chop it up and edit it up here and take what pieces I want and leave the rest. So if y'all want to see the full thing unedited, check it in the description. It's a well done video. Very little room for fluff, to be honest with y'all. It was a well done interview. But anyways, one of the things that Jonas jumped straight into was the RNG. Y'all know that's one of the biggest issues last year. In fact, over the past few years, but it got really louder last year. And Mike Wang actually said they made some significant changes when it comes to NBA 2K26. He went as far as saying, no more RNG. I want y'all to check this clip out.
There's no RNG in shooting. I'm gonna say that with an exception. There's RNG still in like those quick heaves that you get at the ends of buzzers, buzzer beaters, and like half court, full court heaves. Okay, so that's still, I don't want to get a liar.
Fair enough.
That's still going to use a dice roll. But everything else is straight green windows, pure green windows. They scale based on attributes and coverage and all of the badges and everything. But those windows, once they're set by those things, if you can time your shot in those windows, you will hit the shot. 24, we had a pure green window, a little bit larger one. But that one even had RNG on the edges. So what happened there is like, it was a really, really tight window that most people probably couldn't hit consistently. And then that would bleed out to like, 0% chance on the edges. So we still used a dice roll to keep the numbers like, for some people wouldn't go like, over 10. They would at least hit some shots if they were kind of sloppy on their timing.
Right.
So that was the idea. If you are crazy good at shot timing, you're going to take good shots, you're going to destroy people.
You're going to separate yourselves from other players.
Absolutely. And to offset that, I'll throw that out there too, is that one of the reasons why we felt we could go this way is because defense is stronger. So contests, they're powerful. If you can get a hand up, and I watch you guys play a lot. I know you guys are really good at doing this. So you know when to jump, you know when to stay down, you know when to be in the hands up. People who master that, they're going to be able to ding these shooters hard enough where it's going to be such a hard window to hit that consistently, at least, that you're going to keep the percentages down. So I'm not too worried because at least all the play tests we've been having, we're getting good numbers.
Now, I gotta be honest with y'all, he's saying all the right things, especially when it comes to defense. What he said about defense right there, I felt. Now, one of the things they got to get right, in my opinion, is the contest system. Because I believe, from what I've been hearing, shooting is going to be much easier in NBA 2K26. And if shooting is easy, you got to get the contest system right, or it's going to be frustration. It's going to be annoying. As a good defender or someone who takes pride in defense, I want to be rewarded for contesting a shot, for getting bumps, for doing all the right things. I want to be rewarded. Now, of course, he did address that as well. I want y'all to check this clip out.
And the hardest thing about contests, I'm going to say, is usually what happens is in the 2K cam view, when you're playing live with no replays, sometimes things don't look as contested as they are, or vice versa. Yep. Like sometimes it's like, oh, there's a crowd of dudes on the guy. Why is it like a 2% contest? And usually it's because two guys are flat-footed, one guy's behind the shooter, and it looks really crazy, but it's actually pretty open. And so it's really hard to dissect, every little clip.
if you were to freeze frame it at the point of the release, it's actually...
You can kind of see why the game is saying this is not a heavily contested shot, even though to your eyes in real time, in the heat of battle, it might look contested. But yeah, it's really just a lot of balancing and trying to make it so that, you know, everything is a factor. We want people to invest in good perimeter defense or interior defense on the inside. We want to make sure that, you know, height is effective, wingspan's important. All those things got to be important.
Right.
And not, you know, overpower each other.
I don't know what to think by that response, because he's saying basically it's more complicated than we think. And I do understand that, but y'all gotta figure it out. I can't be getting a full contest or seeing I'm fully contesting and then you telling me that it's a 2% contest. I ain't gonna be happy with that. You gotta get the contest system right. If it's one thing you gotta work on, especially if the shooting is easier, is that contest system. Some time need to be put in to that contest system from my perspective. Let me know your thoughts. Next thing he spoke about is rhythm shooting and how effective rhythm shooting is, especially compared to button shooting. And I think this is very important because last year rhythm shooting was significantly better. We already knew that. They put that out there, and I feel like they was trying to push people to transition from button to rhythm. It's the same thing like when they actually try to push people to transition from playing with the meter to without the meter. They gave an incentive to play like that. So most of us took that opportunity and transitioned to playing with no meter. It's the same thing I felt like they did with rhythm shooting last year, but most of the community was not happy. Now, there was a lot of people that transitioned. I used it in certain situations, but it wasn't the masses. And people still complain about rhythm shooting having a significant advantage over the button. So he actually chimed in on that as well. I want y'all to check this clip out.
It's gonna be labbing, I think. It's gonna be finding a shot that works for you and finding out like what you're good at. Because it's, I guess my analogy, maybe it's not a good one, but it might be like, if shooting with the button is like shooting a free throw, and shooting with the stick is like shooting a deep three-pointer with maybe a slightly larger basket. It's like one might be easier for somebody and one might be harder for somebody, but it really depends on the person. Like some people are just going to get it. Some people are going to be in rhythm shooting and be like, I understand that tempo is what really matters. I got to get a certain speed in my stick throw to master shooting. And some people are like, I don't get it. I just can't hit a shot. I just see the window. I want to use the button, and that's fine. And then some people are gonna be in the middle, like Wolf's one of our best players internally, and he's like, yeah, he has this crazy formula. He's like, I'll use button for this case, I'll use stick for this case, I'll use stick for this case, button for this case.
So certain
he's all over the
shots,
place. Yeah, certain shots it might be easier for you. For me, I do rhythm shoot. I rhythm shoot everything, like, and that's just how I play. But yeah, some people are mixing it up, some people are just pure button. And that's kind of one of the metrics for me, actually, is internally, what are people doing? What are they gravitating towards to be successful? And I've found that it's really a good mix. So I think we're in a decent spot. Both viable. Whether they're equal, I don't know if there's even a way to put a metric behind that, because I don't know how to gauge something that's that different, right? It's just different.
So basically he's saying it's gonna be on a level playing field, and it's gonna be hard to tell. It's gonna vary based on your skill type or based on what you prefer, and that does make sense. Last year I switched between button and rhythm based on my player's ability. If I'm playing on a high 3-point build, I was shooting with button. If I was playing with a low 3-point build, I was going rhythm. And I kept changing, and based on the situations as well. If I need a bucket in a really tight situation, I'll probably go button because it's faster. Rhythm tend to have a delay. So there were pros and cons to switching back and forth, but that was me. Certain people like my guy Gambit never switch. Every time he tried button, he was like, nah, this not for me no more. Same thing with Jay Easy. They tend to run back to the rhythm shooting. They did not feel comfortable with the button after they got used to the rhythm shooting. So it will vary based on the person, is what I believe. I will probably do the same thing this year as well, going back and forth. Let me know which one y'all prefer, rhythm shooting or button. Put it in the comment section. So of course, you know, he had to ask Mike Wang about finishing. So what he said was pretty interesting. So what's he basically saying? He want all playstyle to be overpowered in NBA 2K26. Now that does sound good. So we're gonna have to wait and see, which means they're gonna have to have defense to match that energy, man. But that's neither here nor there. Let's check out what he had to say about finishing in NBA 2K26.
But we wanted every play style to be OP. So, you know, you've maybe heard that before, right?
Yeah.
So like, it sucks when there's one dominant play style or two dominant play styles. We wanted it to be like, if you created a slasher and even a layup slasher, like really specific thing. You want to be a guy who just finishes like Kyrie, that you can do that and you can be effective and you can like kill people with that. But if you were like, you know, some glass cleaning interior defensive guy, And if you invest everything in that and you get good at that, you can just, stop everything in the paint. We want there to be a diversity in play styles. But to answer your question with slashing, yeah, it was a point of emphasis, especially with layups and dunks, to make slashing just more of a game, like more of a weapon.
Right.
Because we knew going in, these thinking green or miss is back. People are gonna be like, okay, I'm making a 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
I'm gonna left, right, cheese behind screens and just pull every shot. It's not as easy as it sounds. So don't think you're going back to 2K24. It's different, especially I mentioned with the contest. So I encourage people to try out a bunch of different styles before they commit to what they're building.
One way to play.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen it already downstairs, but like floaters are tough. Like they're really strong, and if you get in your bag and you find the custom layup package that you want for your guy, you're going to be pretty tough.
Yeah, you can be exploding downhill and stop on a dime and just float it over the bit. Yeah, no.
Yeah, and dunks too. You see it. We made dunks easier. It's just hold down on stick now. It's not a big Mortal Kombat throw, as people call it.
Seems like even like standing dunks as well, like standing meter dunks. Everything seems a bit more.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm a little worried about 7-4s, but I think they're okay. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. I'm excited, y'all. I'm excited. I gotta be honest with you. That one, what he said about finishing right there. Oh, your boy Brute is back. Oh, I might have to rethink my first build again. Now that rim running is back again and these teardroppers gonna go crazy, I might have to now think about putting higher layups on my build and close shots as well. So anyways, man, let's continue on. So he also spoke about dribbling as well, and I'm not gonna try to limit it right now because what stood out to me more was when he started speaking about taller builds. It seemed like taller builds are going to be more explosive and more efficient, which is what I like. So I can't wait to get my hands on it. But check out what he said about dribbling in NBA 2K26.
Yeah, discoverability to me is like one thing that I'm excited about for dribbling, and I think people are going to find like their dribble style and all the moves that you can set up with your guy, and find the right combo that that you're good at and get in their bag. And
I messed with it a little bit, and it definitely feels more explosive. Even the 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", yeah, definitely compared to last year, much more. I know you said not poppy, but I would describe it as more, burst.
Yeah. Shout out to Shea, our cover guy, because a lot of his animations are pretty tough. So he's a good dribble style to try out too, I'd say, for the bigger guards.
Now, what he said about the animation stood out as well. And I hope, and this is just my hope, I hope we get Shea early, y'all. That Shea Gilgeous-Alexander dribble style definitely stood out, and it's not a coincidence that he mentioned that first, right? Because it actually unlocked the taller builds for me personally. So I hope we get the Shea dribble style in season 1 outright. I hope it's not behind no season lock. So I'm gonna wait. If that's not there, I'm gonna be mad. I ain't gonna lie. You're gonna see a brute rage video coming out because my first build is gonna be 6'6". I'm putting it out there. My first PG is going to be 6'6", hand down. We're not compromising on that. And the next thing he spoke about is defense as well, something I'm really passionate about. And he is saying some really good things. He's speaking about making stick skills matter, making IQ matter, removing the bailout animations as well. Check out what he had to say about the defense and steals in NBA 2K26.
Especially with steals. Steals have been, for a long time, haven't had much of a gain to them.
Right.
It was kind of a ratings-based dice roll. So that's what I meant when I said the pluck steals are gone.
Yeah.
The ones that are just calculated by like, here's your rating, here's my rating, I hit the button, let's just play an animation out, that's all gone. So actually you guys inspired me a lot. Watching Black Market play and watching like Bauer play defense, I call him out. I guess it's all you guys, but especially Bauer, and like how good he is at anticipating and cutting the dribbler off. I wanted that to be the game. Like, if you can read where the ball handler is going and then hit steal at the right time. We spend a lot of time on that too, just the ball targeting on steals and playing the right animations. They're quicker generally, the animations themselves. So, and not locking you into them as much. But yeah, that whole, the IQ part was important to me. Have like, we actually have different collision radius with the hands based on your steal rating. So there'll be times where like, if you're the ball and I have a lower steal rating, if I get like right on the edge of it and I'll miss it, but that extra couple of like sometimes inches or less than inches can make a difference between a steal and not a steal. So that stuff's all impacted by your steal rating. So there's reason to invest in steal, especially if you want to be a lock or a two-way. You're gonna need it.
Again, he's saying all the right things. Again, we're saying all the right things, but we still gotta wait and see how this is executed, especially when we get our hands in the game and we're playing against skillful players that does matter. Overall, great interview by Joe Knows right there. Let me know what y'all think. I'm gonna put the link to the full interview in the description. He's saying all the stuff I want to hear. We're gonna have to wait and see when we get our hands in the game and when we start playing against each other, playing against the cheaters, playing against the cheaters, and see how everything pans out. At the end of the day, that's all it boils down to. But that's all I got for y'all today. You already know your boy Sim. First time to the channel, like, share, subscribe. God bless and be safe out there, y'all. Peace. And don't forget the notification bell is key, y'all. Peace.